And in this video tutorial, I'm going to start out by showing you a bunch of things that I have made using this awesome all-over pattern stencil, some super cute stuffies, some things that you probably don't even remember because I've made them so long ago. And then we're going to make some Valentine's Day bowl fillers. I'm going to talk to you about creating your own pattern fabric. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so good. So the first thing I wanted to show you, I have not shown in a long time, but this is sitting on my coffee table all the time. And it's a stack of books. And actually they're just Dollar Tree books that I covered with brown craft paper. And then I stenciled the brown craft paper. And this last book is the Victorian Pattern. So this is just white chalk paste on brown craft paper, put like a book cover, and then the stack. And so I wanted to show you that first because I don't remember the last time I talked about that. Okay, and then I want to show you this. This was a project from last year, and we used the silver ink to make our own fabric, which I'll show you in 2 seconds. And I created this little dragonfly that I put on this canvas. I created the wings. Isn't that cute? Okay, so what am I talking about? And then we'll continue looking at this. All right, well, in case you didn't know, you can make your own fabric using, okay, so we have something that says activate a stars party, and we have 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Anyways, okay, I digress. So you can create your own fabric using a stencil like this one. My favorite all-time Victorian Pattern, all-over pattern stencil. This is my brand new one. This is the one that looks terrible that I've used 50 or 60 times, and it still works. I'm still using it. And then I just used some ink, and here's some examples. This was from last year. I hang on to the little bits and pieces because I know I'll do another craft project with them. This is just canvas duck fabric from Walmart. And yeah, so that was navy blue ink. Here was what we did our carrots with, which I'll show you in just a minute. This was the orange ink, same stencil. This was a big piece that I made and then I never used it. I don't know why. But on this one, I used a combination of fall colors and that same stencil. And then this is a piece that I made using the Mandela lace stencil. And you can do all kinds of things with that one. Also wanted to show you this. This was a piece of fabric. This is all I have left that I made using the Love pattern stencil. And what we're going to be using in just a few minutes for Valentine's Day are this piece. I made this at Christmas and then I didn't use all of it, so we'll use it today. We probably won't even use all of it. This was the red ink and that same Victorian pattern, stencil, which I can get you a link if anyone wants that when we're all finished. Here is the repeating hearts pattern stencil, and here is that love pattern stencil again. So we're going to be using these and some little patterns that I made out of computer paper in just a minute. But first, I want to show you some of the awesome things that I've done. Okay, so I showed you the books. I showed you this. This morning I played on replay the video where I made these easy peasy lemon squeezy lemon bowl fillers using yellow ink. Same deal. And then here are the carrots that I made last year using the navy blue. I don't know why I was motivated to use navy blue, but I was, and I thought it looked pretty cute. Here are the carrots that I made last year also using the orange ink. Aren't those so super cute? And this is the top of the carrot. These are just bowl fillers. Here's this And then here is the table runner that I made. Look how cute that is. This is canvas duck fabric. It's just ripped. And then I didn't stuff these, but it just has this little applique of the carrots on there. Isn't that cute? And I did it on both ends. And I did a bunch of banners last year, or not banners, table runners last year, and I gave them away, all but that one. So I'm glad I still have it so I could show you. Okay, I have more to show you. Today I also replayed this video where I showed you this. This was an old window that a friend of mine had, and she had planned to do something with it, and then that just didn't work out. And she asked me if I wanted it, and I said, oh my goodness, yes. This is sitting in my craft room, and I made this using that same stencil. The one that looks so cruddy is the one that has made all of these projects, and just some white chalk paste on the glass. And I think it's beautiful. I love it. It reminds me of lacy curtains or something. Okay, and I have more. And I know I have a lot more projects hanging around here. I just couldn't remember what they were. When you craft every day, you kind of forget what you did 3 days ago. But anyways, at Christmas time, we made these black on black canvases. This is a black canvas, just from Walmart. I used black chalk paste. Can you see it? As on that first, and the Victorian Pattern Stencil. And then I stenciled Then Sings My Soul. And this one is the same deal. Isn't that gorgeous? Did you know you could do that? To me, it reminds me of those like velvet paintings. Anyways, it's black on a black canvas using that Victorian stencil. And then I used the Christmas stencil that said Silent Night, Holy Night in white on top. And then the last two I want to show you, we just did recently. And when I say recently, I don't remember exactly how recent it was. But these were churches that I showed you guys how to make using craft sticks, using popsicle sticks essentially. And I did the background of these hard signs. This one in dark brown with that Victorian pattern, and this one in, I think it's called almond latte chalk paste. You see that? So there just are tons of things. And I think we made, oh my gosh, we made Easter eggs last year, but I think I gave all those away. And I also think we made like seashell kind of things, stuffies that I gave away. So the possibilities with this stencil are just unending. And so what I thought we would do is let's make some Valentine's bowl fillers, stuffy bowl fillers. And I'm going to use a piece of canvas that I haven't done anything to. This is the basis of all these projects. I get my canvas duck fabric at Walmart, in case you're wondering. It's on the bolt, so they have to cut it for you. It's pretty heavy, which makes it nice to work with, and it's usually around $6 a yard. The most difficult thing about buying fabric at Walmart is that there's never anyone in the craft department to help you. But this is, I use this for all those different stuffies, all kinds of different things. And then we're going to use these three fabrics as the front. And then we might decorate them. Let's see how much time we have. Okay, so before I went live, I made 3 patterns because I wanted 3 different shaped hearts. And this is just computer paper that I folded in half and I just randomly cut a heart. So there's one. I've already cut the back piece out of my canvas for that one. Here's another one. It's a smaller one with a really deep V. So I've already cut that one out. the back piece of it. And I have this one now. So I'm going to show you how I do that. And then we'll do the same thing with the fabric that I made with the all over pattern. And yeah, super easy. Okay, so I'm just folding this fabric. It doesn't even matter where. And, oops, I realize you can't see. Let me see if I can get this down. Jenny says she loves the churches. You've been away for quite some time and you're glad to be back. Well, I'm glad to have you back. And hey, you guys, I don't know, did I remember to say any of my normal stuff? Like say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to sprinkle. All that good stuff. Sorry. I was just so excited to show this to you. And sometimes my mouth gets ahead of my brain. Okay, so I'm just going to pin my pattern to this piece that is folded over, and then I'm going to cut it out. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we can trim it once we've glued the two pieces together. Okay, and the good thing here is that I've already done the fabrics and they've been heat set with a hot iron. So this part is ready to go. I will explain though how you do it real quick. So you take your stencil, whether it's a brand new one or one that looks this cruddy but still works just fine. And you lay it on your fabric. And then I use ink when I'm going to do this kind of a project and put it on my squeegee, and you just push it through the holes on the stencil onto the fabric, and then you let it dry thoroughly. And then when it's completely dry, which usually takes 2 to 4 hours, or better yet, overnight, then you just use a hot iron set on cotton, no steam. And I like to put a piece of parchment paper in between my iron and what I'm heat setting, because I don't want any of this stuff to get on my iron. And I'll just go over the front and the back of it for 3 or 4 minutes, and then theoretically it would be washable. But we wouldn't wash this. But anyways, so, okay. So I have my 3 hearts, the back all ready to go. And let's think. I'm going to do this kind of medium-sized one with these little hearts. And of course I want to not use more fabric than I have to, because I will want to do more projects with this fabric at some point in the future. So I'm going to just see, where can I place it that I won't use all of my fabric. Well, I'm going to say right there. That's just fine. No, actually, I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to do it, ha-ha, the top of the heart right here. Could you use acrylic paint with the stencil instead of ink? Oh, I'm so glad that you asked that question, because here's the thing. It would be nice to use acrylic paint or craft paint or chalk paint or whatever kind of paint you have hanging around, but paint dries super fast, super fast. And once paint dries, it's permanent. So these stencils are like a silk screen. They have all these little teeny, teeny, teeny holes that you can hardly even see. But if you use paint on this, then often, before you can get it cleaned up, the paint has dried in your holes and your mesh is all clogged. So I would say, if the budget is the concern, get one less stencil and use ink. You'll be much happier, and then you'll be able to use your stencil way more than is recommended. But I'm frugal and thrifty and all that, so I've used this this one 50 or 60 times. And the reason why it's stained, yes, because they just do get stained, but the holes in it, the mesh is not clogged because I have never used any kind of paint on it. The only thing I use on it is ink or chalk paste. And chalk paste, in case you didn't know, while I'm cutting out, I'll just give you a little lesson. Chalk paste is not the same thing as chalk paint. Chalk paste is like what your teacher used on the blackboard. It's not permanent, and it just is in a paste form, and it has color added to it. Okay, so here's the front and the back of this one. Chalk paint is paint that has chalk in it. It's permanent, it dries fast, and it can seriously mess up your stencils. So that's why I don't recommend that. Okay, let's do this smaller one using my love piece of fabric that I made. This is another great stencil too. If you want the link for this one, just say link in the comments, or say love stencil or something like that, so I know what to get you, what links you want. And I do try to make it super simple. Where do you get chalk paste? You get it from the company that I work with, Magnolia Design Company, and I would be glad to give you a link, because if you're going to get chalk paste, I would love it if you would buy it through my website with Magnolia. And that my website, if you just want to look at it right now, it's magnoliadiy.com. All smushed together. If you put a space in there, this is the weirdest thing. It brings up some website that sells barbecues. So if you do Magnolia and then a space and then DIY.com, you get barbecues. But if you do magnoliadiy.com all smooshed together, then you would get my website. Okay, and here's this one. And here's the back to it. And then we'll do this one, the middle size one. Let's see. And this is the stencil I was talking about, my favorite, the Victorian Pattern. It doesn't have a direction that you need to go, so you can seriously position your pattern on your fabric however you want. There's no necessarily up or down, where with this one, it would look funny if your loves were upside down or, you know, going some winky wonky direction. So I like to just pin my patterns just right to the fabric. See, I've just folded it around the outside, and then I'll just cut it out. And what was I gonna say? Oh, the reason why I use computer paper is because it seems to be thin enough that you can put the your pins through, and then you can just toss it. And the only reason why you need to make a pattern is so that you can have a front and a back that match. That's it. Okay. So, set my little patterns aside, and let's start. Oh no. Did I cut out the wrong? I sure did. I cut out the wrong piece, the second one for the wrong piece, but that's okay. We're going to make this work. We are. I'll just trim it when we're all done. Okay, so I'm going to pin my front and my back together just to start the gluing. And I am going to be using today my handy dandy low temperature hot glue gun. It's a Surebonder Cool Shot, and I feel like it's a little bit lower in temperature than even a regular low temperature glue gun, which is good because you're going to get it on your fingers doing this kind of a project. And I say this every video, and I truly mean it. Hot glue guns hurt. When you get burned with hot glue, it really hurts. Okay, so I've just glued the top of this together, and I'm going to go a little bit further down, and then we'll trim it so the front and the back match. Glue on this side since this is the side that matters. And I'm not going to glue it completely shut because we want to stuff it. So your options for stuffing are, I'm just using some of this basic polyfill from Walmart. But you could, if you have a pillow that you don't love anymore or don't use anymore, you could take that apart for the stuffing. You could use clear or the white plastic grocery shopping bags. I've done that before. You can use the white, what is it called? It's the stuff that you use for if you have Dickens Village or any of the Department 56 houses, or you set up any Christmas scenes. You could use that kind of stuff. And I'm going to show you a trick to make your polyfill a little bit easier to work with. Let's go a little bit deeper. Okay, I'm basically just trimming this because I totally goofed and I cut out the wrong size of the back part. So we're making this work. Okay, so now my front and my back match. And I left this opening right here. And I'm just gonna fill it. And then we'll see how long this takes, but we may come back and do some doodads. There's just so many different things that you could do. I do want the doodads to be consistent on the 3 different hearts because I would use these 3 hearts in the same dough bowl. Okay, so you've seen that. I just have essentially pulled the fibers apart on my polyfill. And that makes it so you don't get as lumpy of a look when you fill your stuffy. And this was a tip that one of my followers here gave me. You guys give me the best tips. I so appreciate that. I see Marilyn, I see Irene and Diane, and I see Janet and Pat and Paula. Lots of you guys on. Stay with me to the end so you can see what these are going to look like. I'm not going to make them super duper fat, but if that's what you like, you certainly could. Oh, and I wanted to show you these bowl fillers that I made last year using some pieces of chenille that were on a vintage chenille bedspread. I just looked on Etsy for chenille bedspread scraps, and I found somebody who had some beautiful stuff. I wanted the white, I think it's called popcorn. So I'll pull those out in just a second and show you. Okay, so it's plenty stuffed. And now I'm just gonna go along the edge and pinch my pieces together. Push my stuffing back in so it's not poking out. There's so many different things. Oh, and the other thing I did this fall was I made some cute little pumpkin stuffy bowl fillers using the orange ink, and then I just cut my shapes into pumpkins, but I could not find those when I was getting ready to come live, so I don't know. I may have put them away. Okay, there's one. Let's do this one. I don't think I'll have to pin this one together since I have the right pieces. If you have not worked with canvas duck fabric yet, you should definitely get some, because you can make so many different things, so many awesome different things. Like, for example, I put all my big stuffies away, but here's a little one that I made, a door hanger for Halloween, for fall. It's like these little pumpkins that I painted. You can paint your duck cloth with acrylic paint, but then when I stenciled the polka dots on these, I used ink, not paint. But anyways, so you can do so many different things with the canvas duck fabric. It's really, really awesome to work with, and you're limited only by your imagination, really. Okay, apparently I did not cut this one very good either. Okay, if you hear this funny little noise that sounds like somebody crying, that would be Mia. She's standing at the door to my craft room. She is the world's biggest drama queen. She's had lunch, and she's had breakfast and lunch and treats. And she sat in my lap for a while. And she's been in and out of the house 100 times. But she needs something, apparently, and she needs it right now. Do you guys have animals like that? Okay, Cindy's asking me, is this canvas different than regular? I can't see your full comment. This is just canvas duck fabric. It's thick. And what I noticed when I was looking at canvas fabrics, like the pre-cut stuff that is like 2 yards, and a lot of the time it's like Waverly brand or something. What I have noticed is that that canvas is very thin, and it just doesn't look as good. It looks lumpy and bumpy, and so you want a canvas that is gonna be sturdy and thick. And the other thing that you could do is you could use painter's drop cloth. I have done that, but now I'm in love with canvas. So I have a whole drawer of painter's drop cloth that I haven't used in a while. I need to get that back out this winter. Okay, so I'm gonna say just a little bit more in this one. And we'll pinch the end of it closed. Thank you for sprinkling, Martha. If anyone else out there wants to sprinkle, I would love that. That is ultimately how my little creative business here grows. Okay, there's that one. Then we'll do this one. And then I'll get out some buttons and some ribbon, and we'll figure out how we want to jazz these puppies up. So last time I made bowl fillers, I got a lot of questions. What are bowl fillers? What is a dough bowl? That was another question I got a lot of. Okay, so back in the olden days, when people made their own bread, they would make their dough, and they would knead it and do all that business, and then they would leave it in a big wooden bowl for however long to rise before they baked it. And that is what the purpose of dough bowls were. Well, they are beautiful. I have a couple. They are beautiful, and they're a part of history, and I always love all that sentimental stuff. Anyway, so a lot of people have dough bowls these days that they fill with things like rattan balls and pine cones and you know, just more natural elements, and then they'll pop in a few little bowl fillers. Like you could use these carrots as a bowl filler. You could use the lemons as a bowl filler. I would probably do 3. And you need to consider the size of your bowl when you're making your bowl fillers, because if the scale is completely off, if your things that you made are gigantic and your dough bowl isn't huge, it's going to look funny. Anyways, so yeah, so that's what a dough bowl is, and what we're making are dough bowl fillers, and we just call them bowl fillers. And they are currently a very big thing. If you want to buy a dough bowl, you can, they sell new ones that are made to look aged or vintage. They sell them at Kirkland's and Target, I mean at a Pottery Barn, that kind of thing. Or you can go to like an antique ball or an antique fair, and they'll have dough bowls. The real old ones, the real ones, not the ones that are made these days and then made to look old. The real ones are going to be more expensive. So you can decide. You can't see what I'm making. I'm making these. They're bowl fillers, and hopefully, Rhonda, you've heard what we're talking about. The screen is right here. Can you see that? I'm trying to go down just a little bit lower. I don't know if I'm crooked. I am. Sorry about that. But if the comments here are in your way, you can swipe them either left or right or up or down, depending on what kind of a device you're on, either with your finger, with your mouse, or with the cursor. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit more in. I'm just filling I'm filling our bowl fillers with polyfill right now. And I'm going to glue them shut, and then we'll move on to the fun part. But before I do the fun part, I want to show you these chenille hearts that I made last year. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And I think these would look cute in the same dough bowl because they're all the same fabric, they're all the same red ink, they're just different designs, and I think they go fine together. Okay, these are the ones that I made last year. Same process exactly, except we didn't create this chenille. I bought it from somebody at Etsy, and I believe this is called popcorn chenille because can you see it's raised? But you can get all kinds of beautiful things. It is very difficult to find in antique malls and garage sales and thrift stores because it's very sought after. And it's a little bit on the expensive side for sure. Let's see, where can I put this? So you just can decide what you want to invest or not. Okay, so these are all my red ribbons, and then let me get some. I think I'm going to be safe and use what I always use, which are mother of pearl buttons. But let's make let's see, I have this ribbon and would this work? Just evaluating. No, I don't like it. I'm talking to myself right now. Sorry about that. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I think too big, but I love this one the best. We won't put ribbons on everything. Let's use this right here. I could make a messy bow. I'm going to do one of these on camera with you, and then I'll fiddle around with them off camera, and I will come back and show you. I'll put pictures in the comments. What the heck? Let's make a messy bow. Or a stack of ribbon. Some of these little polka dots. Okay, so hang on and I'll show you. I'll get this positioned right so that you can see. Okay, my hands are right here. Which way do I need to go? Okay, and I'm going to start with the brown ribbon, and I'm just going to do crisscross, and then I'll do this one, crisscross, and then this one, crisscross, and then this one, crisscross, crisscross, and we'll trim that up. And I'm going to use some of these little teeny, what do they call these? Well, they're zip ties, but this is DiyDreaming brand. And I think these came from Joann's, if I'm right, but they're really little. And I'm just going to zip tie. This style of bow is made by a lot of different crafters. It's kind of reminds me of Brooke from Refab's bows, but Melanie Ferguson, one of my friends, what is her page called? I can't think of it right now. Anyways, she's the one who uses the zip ties, so I'm not taking credit for this. I'm just showing you basically how to do it. So I've just zip tied it tight. You can do as many layers as you want, and then we'll come back and snip them. Let's just snip a couple pieces. Okay, I would come back and make that super cute and fluff it up. But let's put this one right here on this little thing. And let's get, you know what, maybe we want a red button since we're gonna do the ribbon. These are the questions, the decisions that crafters have to make. It's very difficult. And I don't have a lot of great red buttons. Unfortunately, that's kind of cute. I don't know if that will work though, because it has a shank on it and I don't have my cutters out. Okay, we'll use this one. And I'm gonna open the door and let Mia come in so she can stop crying at the door. Okay, you can come in. So, we're just going to tack this down right here. And then I'm going to plunk my button on here. Do you guys hear her? Come here. Come here. Let me show them to. Let me show you to them. Come here. Okay. She is super heavy. Say hi, Mia. She might have a little bit of a weight problem. She's definitely a drama queen. Anyways, that was Mia. Okay, here we go. Isn't that cute? So I will fiddle around with these to get these all finished up, something cute. And I will take pictures. I'll put those here in the comments. Carly says, listen to me, I'm winded now that I picked her up because she's probably 50 plus pounds. And, you know, it's hard to get a hold of a dog that big. Anyways, so she's bigger than me. Well, not really, but she is definitely more of a drama queen than I am. I am not that big of a drama queen, but what do you guys think? These are going to be super cute. And if I can get it done tonight, I will also take pictures of these in a dough bowl, so you can see everything that I was talking about. Okay, so if you want the links for the Mandela lace stencil, this is what it looks like brand new. This is what it looks like when you've used it way too many times, but it still works just fine. I mean, this is a great investment because this stencil here is almost 2 years old. And I only ordered a new one because I wanted to have something nice to show. I really don't need it. I'm still using this one. But if you want a link to that, or to any of the inks, or to anything else, just say link in the comments. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Do a this, or a this, or say something in the comments if you would like to see what I have coming up later this week. Those things do seem to increase the chances that Facebook will actually show you my videos. And do take 2 seconds to look and see if you've liked and followed DIY Dreaming and that you've set on your notifications. Also, if you want to be part of my text alert thingy-mabobby, I will put in the comments the phone number, and you can just send a text to that number, and then it adds you to my text list. And usually 20 minutes before I go live, 90% of the time when I remember, I send a text out. So, hope you guys liked this project. I hope that you liked seeing all the many, many different things that you can do with an all-over pattern stencil, like the Victorian Pattern Stencil. And I hope it gave you tons of ideas, from making table runners to bowl fillers, to windows, to books, to signs, to dragonflies. There's just a million things, and lemons, and carrots, and bunnies, and oh my gosh, there's a million things that you can do. Okay, so Beverly is asking for the polka dot stencil. I'll get that for you as soon as I hop off. Anyways, I will go sit down and read all your comments. Just know that I treasure the things that you guys say, and I try to look through every single comment and answer as many as I can. And I will see you again very soon.